The concept of letting go lies at the very heart of Buddhist teachings, a concept that, if embraced, can utterly transform our lives. Have you ever wondered why we suffer so much from desires and attachment? Imagine if we could simply let go, how different would our experiences be? This isn't about giving up or being indifferent, it's about freeing ourselves from the mental chains that keep us bound to suffering. Letting go is a powerful, transformative act that touches the very core of who we are, allowing us to navigate life's challenges with grace, wisdom, and a deep sense of inner peace. In Buddhism, letting go isn't just about emotionally disconnecting from things or ignoring desires passively. No, it's so much deeper. It is an active, mindful practice that helps us detach from what binds us to suffering, to all those illusions that bring temporary pleasure yet leave behind so much anguish. How do we truly let go when the world around us is constantly telling us to hold on? This journey is about discovering what happens when we let go of control, expectations, and fears. And yes, letting go is central to achieving enlightenment, that state of ultimate freedom we all yearn for. Let's dive deeply into how letting go unfolds across the different traditions of Buddhism, Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, and how we can bring this wisdom into our daily lives. Understanding attachment and the roots of suffering. Buddhism is rooted in the Four Noble Truths, which outline the cause of suffering and the path to its cessation. Attachment, or clinging, tanha, is the primary source of our suffering. How often do we cling to people, experiences, or possessions, desperately hoping they will bring us lasting happiness? But why is it that no matter how much we achieve or accumulate, a sense of dissatisfaction always seems to linger? The answer lies in attachment. We attach ourselves to the illusion that things, people, or even experiences can provide us with permanent happiness or security, and this belief feeds our cravings and aversions. The three poisons, greed, lobha, hatred, dosa, and delusion, moha, distort our view of reality and keep us trapped in cycles of craving and dissatisfaction. We need to look deeply at our attachments to see them for what they are, nothing more than impermanent phenomena, anicca. The transient nature of things, whether material wealth, relationships, or personal achievements, is inevitable, yet we cling. Why do we cling so much to things we know will change, decay, or leave us? This illusion of permanence is a deep-rooted cause of our suffering. The practice of letting go in Theravada Buddhism. In the Theravada tradition, letting go is viewed through the lens of insight, vipassana, and understanding the three marks of existence, impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. It's about seeing clearly, with both the intellect and the heart. Insight meditation, vipassana. Theravada Buddhism places great emphasis on insight meditation, where practitioners observe their thoughts and emotions without reacting. Can you imagine just sitting, watching your emotions rise and fall, and realizing they don't control you? With vipassana, we cultivate this powerful ability to observe without judgment, to see the fleeting nature of each thought and feeling. We come to see that clinging to any experience, positive or negative, leads to suffering. Why suffer when joy inevitably fades or when pain isn't even permanent? Letting go becomes a way to break free from this exhausting cycle. Insight meditation also involves seeing the true nature of the self. Who are we, really? When we sit in meditation and observe, we come to realize that the self we cling to is nothing more than a collection of thoughts, memories, and sensations. There is no permanent, unchanging I to hold on to. This realization can be both unsettling and liberating. If there is no fixed self, then what is there to protect, to fear for, or to cling to? Letting go of the illusion of a solid self is a profound part of the practice, a doorway to true freedom. Equanimity, upekkha. Equanimity, upekkha, is essential in Theravada practice. It's about finding that inner balance, that mental calm that allows us to remain unmoved by life's highs and lows. Is this not the peace we all seek, to be untouched by life's ups and downs, gains and losses, praise and blame? Developing equanimity helps us let go without becoming indifferent. Rather, it's an acknowledgement that everything is transient. It's the gentle reminder that, in the end, everything is beyond our control, and that's okay. Equanimity doesn't mean that we stop feeling or caring. It means we understand that everything is part of the natural ebb and flow of life. When we truly let go, we stop resisting the natural changes that occur. When we lose something, we don't fall apart because we understand that loss is inevitable. When we gain something, we enjoy it, but we do not cling because we know it won't last forever. This is the essence of equanimity, finding that balance in an ever-changing world. Letting go in Mahayana Buddhism. Mahayana Buddhism emphasizes a deep understanding of the true nature of reality, particularly through emptiness, shunyata, and present moment awareness. Letting go, in this context, means dissolving our attachment not just to material things but also to the notion of a solid, inherently existent self. Emptiness, shunyata. Emptiness teaches us that all phenomena are interdependent and lack inherent existence. If everything is interconnected and impermanent, what's left to cling to? Understanding emptiness helps us realize that our attachments have no real substance. Everything, people, objects, experiences, is empty of a permanent, independent essence. This isn't a bleak outlook, it's liberating. It means that we're free to engage with life without grasping, without trying to possess that which can never be held. Think about it, if everything lacks an inherent, independent identity, then all our attachments are based on illusions. The people we love, the things we desire, even our own identities, they are all fluid, ever-changing, and empty of an unchanging core. This doesn't mean they're meaningless, rather, it means they're free. When we let go of the illusion that anything has a fixed, permanent nature, we open ourselves up to a more compassionate, flexible way of living. We begin to see the beauty in the impermanent, in the fleeting moments that make up our lives. Present moment awareness and Zen practice. In Zen, letting go means embracing the present fully, without getting lost in past regrets or future fears. The practice of Zazen, or just sitting, shikantaza, is all about dropping our incessant need to label and judge. Have you ever tried simply to sit and just be, without any agenda? In this space of pure awareness, we can let go of all striving and simply exist. What a beautiful practice, to let go of everything, even the desire for enlightenment itself, and just be. In this stillness, we find the freedom of an open mind and an open heart. Zen masters often talk about beginner's mind, a state of openness and curiosity, free from preconceived notions. When we approach life with a beginner's mind, we let go of our judgments and expectations. We allow each moment to unfold as it is, without clinging to what we think it should be. This kind of letting go brings us into direct contact with the present moment, where true peace resides. How often do we miss the beauty of the present because we are too busy holding on to the past or worrying about the future? Letting go in Vajrayana Buddhism. In Vajrayana Buddhism, letting go is about transformation, turning even our attachments into wisdom. We don't just push our emotions away, we transform them. Transforming attachment through visualization. Imagine visualizing yourself as a deity, embodying pure wisdom and compassion. This is deity yoga. Through this practice, we let go of our ordinary sense of self and all the insecurities and fears that come with it. It's a radical shift. We embrace our divine potential and let go of limiting beliefs that have held us back for so long. In Vajrayana, instead of trying to suppress or ignore attachments, practitioners use them as a path to awakening. They visualize themselves as enlightened beings, embodying the qualities of wisdom, compassion, and fearlessness. By doing so, they let go of their ordinary, limited sense of self and step into a space of boundless potential. It's an incredible process, transforming the very things that bind us into the tools of our liberation. Tunglen practice, giving and receiving. In Tunglen practice, we breathe in the suffering of others and breathe out compassion and love. It's a practice that asks us to go against our instinct for self-preservation and, instead, embrace the suffering of others. It's an incredibly powerful act of letting go of the ego, letting go of the idea that we need to protect ourselves at all costs. Instead, we let love, compassion, and interconnectedness guide our actions. Tonglen is about reversing our usual patterns of avoiding pain and seeking comfort. We willingly take in the suffering of others, recognizing that we are all interconnected. By doing so, we let go of our self-centered concerns and cultivate a heart that is open, fearless, and compassionate. Imagine the power of a world where people are willing to take on each other's pain, to breathe in the suffering and breathe out love. This is the kind of transformation that Vajrayana teaches, a transformation that begins with letting go of the ego. Practical steps for letting go in daily life. How do we take these profound teachings and apply them in our everyday lives? It might sound abstract, but it can be so real, so transformative. Here are some practical ways to let go. Mindful observation. Instead of reacting immediately to a thought or feeling, what if you took a step back and simply watched it? Imagine observing an emotion like a wave in the ocean. It rises, it peaks, and it eventually fades away. Letting go starts with seeing that every thought and emotion is just a temporary visitor. Why hold on to something that's already on its way out? Mindful observation is about creating space between ourselves and our experiences. When we observe our thoughts and feelings without identifying with them, we begin to see their impermanent nature. We realize that we don't have to be swept away by every emotion that arises. We can watch them come and go, like clouds passing through the sky. This simple practice of observing without reacting can bring immense freedom. Reflection on impermanence. Reflecting on impermanence might sound morbid, but it's actually one of the most liberating practices. Everything we have, our possessions, relationships, even our bodies, is temporary. This understanding helps us let go, not in a way that makes us indifferent, but in a way that makes us more present, more grateful. When we reflect on the impermanent nature of all things, we begin to appreciate the preciousness of each moment. We stop taking things for granted. We realize that every experience, every relationship, every breath is a gift. Letting go of the illusion of permanence allows us to live more fully, to love more deeply, and to appreciate the beauty of the present moment without clinging. Practice non-identification. Non-identification means seeing emotions and thoughts for what they are, simply experiences passing through. Instead of saying, "I am angry," say, "There is anger within me." This subtle shift makes a world of difference. It creates space. It allows us to let go. Non-identification is about recognizing that we are not our thoughts or emotions. We are the awareness in which they arise. When we stop identifying with every passing thought, we begin to experience a sense of spaciousness and freedom. We realize that our true nature is not limited by the transient emotions and thoughts that come and go. Letting go becomes easier when we understand that we are not the story our mind tells us, we are the silent witness, the space in which everything unfolds. Cultivate generosity, Dana. Giving freely is one of the best ways to let go of attachment. Whether it's giving away material wealth or simply sharing our time and energy, each act of generosity is a step toward dismantling our attachment. Isn't it amazing how a simple act of giving can make us feel lighter, freer? Generosity is not just about giving away things, it's about cultivating an open heart. When we give without expecting anything in return, we let go of our attachment to outcomes. We let go of the idea that our happiness depends on what we receive. Instead, we find joy in the act of giving itself. Generosity helps us break free from the ego's grip, allowing us to experience the interconnectedness of all beings. Loving-kindness meditation, Metta Bhavana. Loving-kindness meditation is another practical tool for letting go. By cultivating unconditional love for oneself and others, one can gradually release the grasp of selfish attachment. In Metta Bhavana, you systematically send wishes of well-being and happiness to yourself, loved ones, neutral people, and even those you have conflicts with. This practice softens the heart and helps reduce the boundaries created by attachment and aversion. Through loving-kindness meditation, we learn to let go of the barriers that separate us from others. We let go of resentment, anger, and judgment. We cultivate a heart that is open and loving, capable of embracing all beings without exception. Letting go of these negative emotions creates space for compassion, connection, and true happiness. Common misconceptions about letting go. Letting go is not indifference. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care deeply without attachment. How beautiful is that, to love fully, without fear. Letting go is often misunderstood as a form of detachment that leads to indifference or apathy. But true letting go is about caring deeply, while understanding that we cannot control everything. It's about loving with an open heart, without trying to possess or control the object of our love. When we let go, we allow others to be who they are, without trying to mold them to fit our expectations. This kind of love is liberating, both for ourselves and for those we love. Letting go is not suppression. Letting go isn't about denying or suppressing emotions. On the contrary, it's about facing them fully and letting them flow. Why suppress when you can simply let go and be free? Another common misconception is that letting go means pushing away our emotions, pretending they don't exist. But suppression only leads to greater suffering in the long run. True letting go involves acknowledging our emotions, feeling them fully, and then allowing them to pass. It's about creating space for our emotions to arise and dissolve naturally, without clinging to them or pushing them away. This kind of letting go brings true emotional freedom. The fruits of letting go. What happens when we finally let go? The rewards are immense. Freedom from suffering. Imagine being free from the constant cycle of wanting and dissatisfaction. Letting go breaks the cycle and brings genuine relief. Inner peace. Without the burden of clinging, we find a calm, a deep sense of peace that is not disturbed by life's changes. Compassion and loving kindness. By letting go of the ego's grip, we become truly compassionate, capable of loving without expecting anything in return. Awakening. Enlightenment is the ultimate fruit of letting go, a state of perfect peace, clarity, and freedom. Isn't that what we all dream of? When we let go, we experience a profound shift in our perspective. We stop seeing the world through the lens of me and mine. We begin to see the interconnectedness of all beings, the way our actions affect others, and the way we are all part of a larger whole. This shift brings a deep sense of peace, a feeling of being at home in the world. We no longer need to fight against the natural flow of life. We can rest in the knowledge that everything is as it should be, and that we are part of a vast, interconnected web of existence. Deepening the practice of letting go. As we continue to explore the practice of letting go, it's essential to deepen our understanding of its impact on different aspects of our lives, emotions, relationships, identity, and even death. Letting go is not just an abstract idea, it is a transformative force that touches every part of our existence. Letting go of emotional attachments. Emotions are a significant part of our human experience, and they often define how we react to the world around us. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by anger, sadness, or fear? These emotions can feel so powerful, almost as if they control us. But what if we could learn to let go of our emotional attachments and stop letting them dictate our actions? Letting go of emotional attachments does not mean we stop feeling. In fact, it means that we fully experience our emotions without getting caught in them. Imagine experiencing anger without the need to act on it, feeling the heat, the energy, and then watching it dissipate like a passing storm. This is the power of letting go. It allows us to experience emotions fully while maintaining a sense of inner calm and clarity. Emotional attachments often arise because we identify with our emotions. We say, "I am sad," or "I am angry," as if these emotions define who we are. But what if we saw emotions as temporary visitors, like waves in the ocean of our consciousness? When we let go of identifying with our emotions, we create space for them to come and go without being swept away by them. This practice of non-identification helps us cultivate emotional resilience and inner peace. Letting go in relationships. Relationships are one of the most challenging areas to practice letting go. We often cling to the people we love, wanting them to be a certain way or fearing that we might lose them. But true love is not about clinging, it is about letting go. It is about loving without attachment, without trying to control or possess the other person. Letting go in relationships means allowing others to be who they are, without imposing our expectations or demands on them. It means loving them for who they are, not for who we want them to be. This kind of love is liberating. It frees both ourselves and the other person from the burden of unrealistic expectations. It allows us to experience love as a gift, not as something we need to hold on to or protect. Imagine a relationship where both people are free to grow, change, and be their authentic selves. This is the kind of relationship that letting go makes possible. It is a relationship based on mutual respect, trust, and unconditional love. Letting go in relationships does not mean we stop caring, it means we care deeply, without trying to control the outcome. Letting go of identity. Who are we, really? This question lies at the heart of the Buddhist practice of letting go. We often define ourselves by our roles, our achievements, our relationships, and our beliefs. We cling to these identities because they give us a sense of security and purpose. But what happens when these identities are challenged or taken away? We suffer because we have attached our sense of self to something impermanent. Letting go of our attachment to identity is one of the most profound aspects of the Buddhist path. It means recognizing that our true nature is not limited by our roles, achievements, or beliefs. It is about seeing through the illusion of a fixed, unchanging self and discovering the boundless awareness that lies at the core of our being. When we let go of our attachment to identity, we become free to explore the full range of our potential. We are no longer confined by the labels we have placed on ourselves or the expectations of others. We can embrace change, growth, and transformation with an open heart. Letting go of identity is not about losing ourselves, it is about finding our true selves, the part of us that is beyond all labels and definitions. Letting go of control. One of the most challenging aspects of letting go is letting go of control. We all have a natural desire to control our lives, to shape our circumstances, and to ensure our safety and happiness. But the truth is, much of what happens in life is beyond our control. No matter how much we plan, prepare, or strive, there will always be things that are unpredictable and uncontrollable. Letting go of control means accepting the uncertainty of life. It means trusting in the natural flow of things and being willing to adapt to whatever comes our way. This does not mean we stop making efforts or pursuing our goals, it means we let go of the need to control the outcome. We do our best, and then we let go, trusting that whatever happens is part of the larger unfolding of life. Imagine the freedom that comes from letting go of control, from no longer needing to manipulate every aspect of our lives to fit our desires. This kind of freedom allows us to respond to life with openness and creativity, rather than with fear and resistance. It allows us to live fully in the present moment, embracing each experience as it comes. Letting go in the face of death. Death is perhaps the ultimate test of our ability to let go. It is the one certainty in life, yet it is also the source of our greatest fear and resistance. We cling to life, to our loved ones, to our possessions, and to our sense of self, desperately trying to hold on to what is inevitably slipping away. In Buddhism, letting go in the face of death is seen as the key to true freedom. It means accepting the impermanence of all things, including our own existence. It means facing death with courage, grace, and an open heart, knowing that death is not the end but a natural part of the cycle of life. Letting go in the face of death is not about giving up or resigning ourselves to fate, it is about embracing the mystery of existence and trusting in the deeper wisdom of life. It is about letting go of our fear of the unknown and opening ourselves to the possibility of something beyond our limited understanding. This kind of letting go brings a profound sense of peace and freedom, even in the face of the greatest uncertainty. The interconnectedness of letting go and compassion. Letting go and compassion are deeply intertwined in Buddhist practice. When we let go of our attachments, we naturally become more compassionate. Why? Because attachment is rooted in self-centeredness. It is about clinging to what we want, to what makes us feel secure, and to our own needs and desires. When we let go of this self-centered clinging, we open ourselves to the needs and suffering of others. Compassion arises when we see the interconnectedness of all beings. When we let go of the illusion of a separate self, we realize that the suffering of others is not separate from our own. We see that we are all part of the same web of existence, and that our well-being is interconnected with the well-being of all beings. This realization naturally gives rise to compassion, a deep wish for all beings to be free from suffering. Letting go also allows us to be fully present with others in their suffering. When we are not attached to our own comfort or to the outcome of a situation, we can be truly present with others, offering our love and support without any conditions or expectations. This kind of compassionate presence is one of the most powerful gifts we can offer to others, and it is made possible by the practice of letting go. The role of mindfulness in letting go. Mindfulness is a key practice that supports the process of letting go. By cultivating mindfulness, we develop the ability to observe our thoughts, emotions, and experiences without attachment or aversion. Mindfulness allows us to see things as they are, without the distortions of our desires, fears, and expectations. Through mindfulness, we become aware of the ways in which we cling to certain thoughts, emotions, or experiences, and we begin to see the suffering that this clinging creates. We see how our attachment to pleasure leads to disappointment, how our aversion to pain leads to resistance, and how our desire for control leads to anxiety. With this awareness, we can begin to let go. Mindfulness also helps us stay grounded in the present moment. When we are fully present, we are not caught up in the regrets of the past or the worries of the future. We can let go of the stories our mind tells us and simply be with what is. This presence is the foundation of letting go. It is the space in which we can experience the freedom of non-attachment. Cultivating patience and perseverance in the practice of letting go. Letting go is not always easy, and it is not something that happens overnight. It is a gradual process that requires patience and perseverance. There will be times when we find ourselves clinging once again, times when our fears, desires, and attachments feel overwhelming. In these moments, it is important to be gentle with ourselves and to remember that letting go is a practice, not a destination. Cultivating patience means being willing to stay with the process, even when it is difficult. It means recognizing that letting go is a lifelong journey, and that each step we take is valuable, no matter how small. Perseverance means continuing to practice, even when we feel discouraged or when progress seems slow. It means trusting in the process and having faith that, over time, the practice of letting go will bear fruit. It is also helpful to remember that letting go is not about getting rid of anything, it is about creating space. It is about allowing things to be as they are, without clinging or pushing them away. This kind of gentle, patient approach is what makes the practice of letting go sustainable and transformative. The ultimate freedom, letting go of the fear of letting go. One of the greatest obstacles to letting go is the fear of letting go itself. We fear that if we let go, we will lose something important, our sense of self, our security, our happiness. We fear the unknown, the uncertainty that comes with letting go of control. But what if the very thing we fear is the key to our freedom? Letting go of the fear of letting go is about trusting in the process. It is about having faith that, when we let go, we are not losing anything but gaining everything. It is about recognizing that the freedom, peace, and happiness we seek are not found in holding on, but in letting go. This kind of trust is not blind faith, it is a trust that comes from experience. Each time we let go, we taste a little bit of freedom. Each time we let go, we experience a glimpse of the peace that lies beyond our attachments. And each time we let go, we build the confidence to let go even more deeply. Letting go as an act of love. Letting go is ultimately an act of love, love for ourselves, love for others, and love for life itself. When we let go, we free ourselves from the suffering of attachment, and we open ourselves to the fullness of life. We become more available to ourselves, to others, and to the present moment. We become more open, more compassionate, and more alive. Letting go is also an act of love for others. When we let go of our expectations, our need to control, and our attachments, we create space for others to be who they are. We allow them the freedom to grow, change, and be themselves. We offer them our love without conditions, without demands, and without trying to make them fit into our idea of who they should be. This kind of unconditional love is the greatest gift we can offer to others, and it is made possible by the practice of letting go. And finally, letting go is an act of love for life itself. When we let go, we embrace life as it is, with all its beauty and all its challenges. We stop trying to force life to fit our desires, and we open ourselves to the wonder and mystery of existence. We find joy in the simple moments, in the beauty of nature, in the warmth of a smile, and in the quiet presence of our own being. We live fully, deeply, and joyfully, not because we have everything we want, but because we have let go of wanting. Conclusion: the endless journey of letting go. Letting go is not the end, it is the beginning. It is the beginning of a life lived with an open heart, a life free from the suffering of attachment, and a life filled with love, compassion, and joy. It is a journey that takes us to the very core of who we are, to the boundless love and wisdom that lies within each of us. As we continue on this journey, let us remember that letting go is not about giving up or turning away from life. It is about turning toward life with an open heart and an open mind. It is about embracing each moment, each experience, and each person with love, compassion, and presence. It is about trusting in the natural flow of life and finding freedom in the midst of it all. So, let us take a deep breath, and with each exhale, let something go, a fear, a desire, an expectation. Let us open our hearts to the present moment, to the beauty and impermanence of life, and let us find joy in the freedom that comes from letting go. This is the essence of the Buddhist path, a path of love, compassion, and freedom. Letting go is not the end, it is the beginning of a life lived fully, deeply, and joyfully. Are you ready to let go and truly live? The journey is yours to take, one breath, one moment, one act of letting go at a time. And remember, each time you let go, you are not losing anything, you are gaining the freedom to be truly, wonderfully, and fully alive. Conclusion. Letting go in Buddhism is not passive resignation, it's the most powerful act we can undertake, an act that changes everything. It means recognizing the impermanent, interdependent nature of all things and daring to release the illusion of control. Whether through the insight of Theravada, the wisdom of Mahayana, or the transformative practices of Vajrayana, letting go is the key to freedom. Letting go invites us to live fully in the present moment, to embrace life with an open heart and experience the profound peace that comes from true freedom. It's about engaging with the world, not from a place of fear or desire, but from wisdom, compassion, and equanimity. Can you imagine a life lived without fear, without clinging? A life of true freedom, where every moment is embraced just as it is? That's the gift of letting go, a gift that reveals the joy, peace, and clarity always present within us. It's time to let go, and truly live. Letting go is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey. It requires patience, courage, and compassion. There will be moments when we find ourselves clinging once again, but each of these moments is an opportunity to practice. Each time we let go, we step closer to freedom. And each time we let go, we discover that the peace we seek has always been right here, within us. The journey of letting go is the journey home, to our true selves, to the boundless love and wisdom that lies at the core of our being. So, let us take a deep breath, and with each exhale, let something go, a fear, a desire, an expectation. Let us open our hearts to the present moment, to the beauty and impermanence of life, and let us find joy in the freedom that comes from letting go. This is the essence of the Buddhist path, a path of love, compassion, and freedom. Letting go is not the end, it is the beginning of a life lived fully, deeply, and joyfully. Are you ready to let go and truly live?